Right now on your news channel, live at 5, live team coverage of the storm. One community already preparing for an evacuation order. What you need to know coming up. A preview of the sentencing of Paul Flores, what tomorrow is expected to bring. And Krista has your first alert weather forecast with everything you need to know about the storm. Your news channel, live at 5, starts right now.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys, your news channel starts right now.
Right now on your news channel, rain, wind, and fog in San Luis Obispo County. A live look from our Cuesta Peak camera looking out toward Morro Bay. That fog is so thick you can't see much. It's the leading edge of a powerful storm that could dump as much as 12 inches of rain in the Santa Lucia Mountains. Good evening, I'm Scott Hennessy. Thank you for being with us. We have live team coverage of the atmospheric river. Before we go to our teams in the field, let's go straight to Krista Kirkchin in the First Alert Weather Center with a look at the live storm tracker.
System has arrived. Here's a look at the live storm tracker. Much of the activity currently over San Luis Obispo County and North Santa Barbara County. Currently not much activity for the South Coast and Ventura County. So here's a look at how that system has moved within the past hour. We are expecting much of the activity, the heaviest rain, to be for communities north of Point Conception. You'll notice currently we do have rain for all of San Luis Obispo County, but it is generally light at this time. But that will change as we approach later tonight and into tomorrow. The heaviest rain is expected for tonight into Friday night. And here's a look at the radar. Vandenberg, some activity here as well. And as we make our way toward the South Coast, we see a lot less activity, but once again, that will change. We do have several inches of rain in the forecast, 2 to 4 inches for Santa Barbara County and San Luis Obispo County. Some isolated communities, as Scott mentioned, between 6 to 12 inches of rain for the Santa Lucia Mountains. We do have a flood watch that is in effect along with a wind advisory. I'll tell you more about it in my full forecast. For now, back to you, Scott.
Krista, we continue our team coverage now with more details on that flood watch. It has been issued for San Luis Obispo County through Saturday. What you see here is a map of an evacuation order in Oceano. News Channel reporter Christina Rodriguez joins us live with more on this story. Christina, how is the weather now where you are?
Yes, Scott, here in Santa Maria, the rain has already started, and people I spoke to earlier today in Oceano are now prepping for the evacuation order.
San Luis Obispo County released a flood warning and evacuation order to residents near the Arroyo Grande Creek and Oceano Lagoon. Oceano visitor Patricia McQuillan says to stay alert through these wet conditions.
It does increase the hazards. And certainly if you're in the areas that were hit by fire, you've got to really worry about what's going to slide down. And trees falling, tarp things that you're worried about, and sandbag areas that you're worried where the water's flowing so that you can direct that flow.
PG&E spokesperson Karina Corral says they are monitoring locations in the county with high wind advisories.
We're ready, we're prepped, we're staging for any outages that may come our way. We have our crews on standby. We have extra equipment at our yards.
Corral says to stay prepared in case of an evacuation or power outage and use the 211 phone number for nearby emergency help.
Prepare for outages and possibly even extended outages by making sure their electronics are charged ahead of time and maybe even having a backup phone if you only have a landline. Using flashlights and not candles, because candles do pose a fire risk.
McQuillan says she is concerned about floods near Oceano and for the livestock and their owners.
That's happened before when the levee broke. And so we don't know them personally, but we know what they had to evacuate the horses out and their other livestock. And that's happened in Santa Barbara as well.
To stay up to date with all of the weather condition alerts, make sure to download our mobile app. Live in Santa Maria, I'm News Channel reporter Christina Rodriguez.
Christina, thank you very much. Habitat for Humanity of Southern Santa Barbara County is repairing rooftops for low-income families ahead of the storm in Santa Barbara. News Channel reporter Patricia Martellotti shares how the projects are going.
Crews are repairing several homes to help locals in Santa Barbara get ready for this weekend's rainstorm. The Habitat for Humanity of Southern Santa Barbara County is hard at work.
This low-income homeowner needed some roof repairs, which were especially critical before this weekend's storms.
In addition to fixing the rooftop, crews are making security upgrades and other repairs.
There is more work to be done. Somebody was screwing around here and they didn't get the screw in the right place.
Yeah, okay.
So we have to fix this gate as well. Well, she has just had thumb surgery, so she's not able to manipulate many things. So even such silly small things as kitchen and bathroom drawers was sticking and making it difficult for her to pull them out. So we have waxed those, we've reset them, and now they're going to glide.
As the Habitat team finishes up this project, there are dozens more on the way.
It was, but yeah.
We have projects coming up this week, next week. We have a lot of people reaching out to us with requests for home repairs.
My hope is that this homeowner will have a accessible and safe house that they can live under for future rainstorms without fear of any leaks.
The organization assists low-income homeowners with repairs at no cost to them.
We encourage you, or if someone you know needs a home repair, please reach out. We are available to help.
Habitat for Humanity's home repair program operates year-round. In Santa Barbara, I'm News Channel reporter Patricia Martellotti.
This powerful storm could have a big impact on schools in San Luis Obispo County tomorrow. The SLO County Superintendent is recommending all schools in the county either close tomorrow or modify their schedules. The final decision is ultimately up to local administrations and the governing board. Already, Cuesta College has announced its campuses will be closed tomorrow. The intersection at Marsh Street and Higuera Street in San Luis Obispo closed this afternoon ahead of the storm. Officials expect those roads to flood and want drivers to keep clear of the area. This is what it looked like during that last big storm on January 9th. The intersection will be closed until further notice. A reminder to not cross flooded roadways and for businesses to prepare for the possibility of flooding. Stay with us for all your weather updates as we continue to track this storm. Now is the time to make sure you have our First Alert weather app. You can check out our live interactive radar. We'll also send alerts for severe weather in your area. Now to the sentencing of Paul Flores, the man convicted of killing Kristen Smart. He will be in court tomorrow morning for possible sentencing. News Channel's Dave Alley spoke with someone who once worked on the case to get his opinion on what might happen.
A monumental conclusion is all set for Friday in the Kristen Smart murder trial.
It essentially ends the case that's, gone on for 27 years.
A case that has drawn intense interest from all around the world, going back to May 25th, 1996. Now the man convicted of killing Smart, Paul Flores, will soon learn his fate.
It's been a long and winding trail, is all I can say, to reach a conclusion, and that will be what's happening tomorrow when the judge pronounces sentencing.
Retired FBI agent Dan Payne knows all about the Smart case. He worked on it in the early days, soon after her disappearance. Payne says he's relieved to see the case reach a final outcome.
Relief that the justice system is still intact and the justice system works.
Now, there is a chance the case may not end on Friday. Before sentencing, Flores defense attorney Robert Sanger will motion for both a retrial and an acquittal, arguing prosecutor Chris Prevail made errors during his presentation, as well as using what Sanger describes as, quote, junk science, something Payne believes has no chance of succeeding.
It'll be dismissed, and he'll have to appeal it to a higher court, the California Appellate Court.
Flores is facing 25 years to life in prison or life without parole. Payne thinks he'll receive the maximum.
I suspect, based on the judge's track record and everything, and the jury's conviction for first-degree murder, is that he'll get a sentence, life without parole.
Court begins Friday morning at the Monterey County Courthouse at 9 a.m. News Channel will have coverage as it happens. In San Luis Obispo County, I'm News Channel reporter Dave Alley.
Developing news, Senator Mitch McConnell is in the hospital after suffering a fall. A source confirms he tripped at a local hotel during a private dinner and has been admitted to the hospital where he's receiving treatment. McConnell is being treated for a concussion. He's expected to be in the hospital for a couple of days for observation. This year, he became the longest-serving party leader in U.S. Senate history. The Kentucky senator is one of several lawmakers who have been hospitalized in recent weeks, including Senators John Fetterman and Bob Casey and Congresswoman Dianne Feinstein. Another train belonging to Norfolk Southern derailed today, this time in Calhoun County, Alabama. It happened just hours before the company's CEO testified before a Senate committee about February's toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Roxana Saberi reports.
Norfolk Southern CEO told senators his company is sorry for last month's toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, and pledged $20 million to the region and residents.
That we're going to be there for as long as it takes to help East Palestine thrive and recover.
Norfolk Southern has announced several voluntary safety upgrades, but earlier this month, a bipartisan group of senators unveiled a new rail safety bill.
Will you commit to supporting the Bipartisan Railway Safety Act and help restore the public's trust in your company?
Senator, there are a number of provisions that we would absolutely support.
Those include tighter standards for tank cars the railroads don't own, expanded hazardous materials training for first responders, and standards for detectors used to spot problems along the track. Republican senators also criticized the responsiveness of the EPA. The agency recently paused the removal of toxic soil to confirm facilities that process the soil are federally compliant.
We expect waste to be moving, perhaps as soon as today, to other facilities.
Several East Palestine residents attended the hearing, including homeowner Aaron Stoffer.
Our property values are at nothing right now. You know, even if we didn't feel safe and wanted to leave the area, I don't even know how we would do it.
Back in East Palestine, Eric Whiting says he doesn't trust testing that shows no harmful levels of toxins. He still drinks only bottled water.
So in the ideal world, you'd want Norfolk Southern to buy you out?
I would love to be bought out, and I would love to walk away.
So far, he has not received an offer. Roxana Saberi, East Palestine, Ohio.
Now to your health. Daylight saving time begins this Sunday. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night before and after the time change. They want seasonal time changes to be eliminated and favor permanent standard time, citing increasing evidence of increased medical errors, motor vehicle accidents, hospital admissions, and other problems related to the time change. The spring time change can be especially tough for children. After losing sleep, they had slower reaction times and attention problems after the time change. The Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act last year, which would implement permanent daylight saving time in the U.S. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine opposes the bill and is urging Congress to support permanent standard time. Here at home, the Santa Barbara International Orchid Festival is back this weekend at the Earl Warren Showgrounds in a post-pandemic return. The Orchid Festival is one of a kind. It is filled with traditional, unique, and custom orchids that those attending cannot see in one place anywhere else. Both commercial growers and hobbyists are side by side competing for top awards. The public can also buy orchids and find the ones that work best in their region, even if they were imported.
We have people from Ecuador, we have people from Taiwan, you name it, all over from the United States. This is the variety of orchids that you will never see available anywhere else.
So when you say, I live in Santa Barbara and it gets down to this temperature and up to this temperature, that guy will reach in there and grab a plant that's appropriate for you.
We have some customers from Arizona. They're looking for everything that grows warm. If they live in Santa Barbara, they grow cool or intermediate. So, and we also help to decide what kind of plant they're looking for.
The return of the Orchid Show is not just beneficial for the industry and home growers, it also helps the local economy with the increase in travelers, some who travel great distances to see these flowers and make a purchase. Still ahead on your news channel, live at 5, all this rain could have an impact on mountain communities. What people are nervous about after the break.
Take a look at that live storm tracker. Activity already underway. I'll tell you more about the system and where it's headed next, coming up.
Roughly 17 million people in central and northern California are under flood watches ahead of this massive storm system we've been talking about. Another so-called atmospheric river is likely to drench the region tonight and into the weekend, potentially bringing dangerous amounts of rain to places that are now buried in heavy snow. Carter Evans reports from the Sierra Nevada town of Truckee.
On Wednesday, a new layer of snow covered the Lake Tahoe area, prompting road closures.
We sledded in all of the gasoline on a toboggan.
Many residents' homes and cars have been trapped on all sides by snow that just keeps piling higher. People in mountain communities across California have spent weeks with shovels in hand.
Gonna get 3 to 5 inches, 5 to 8, and then 5 to 8 turned into a foot or more every 12 hours.
And while elevated communities could see several more feet, many more Californians are under flood watches. These Bay Area residents have been busy filling sandbags. In Southern California, a growing number of grim discoveries. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office says at least one person was killed by the previous storm, while 11 others were found dead during welfare checks. Even after 2 weeks, people here are struggling.
Probably about 1 million cubic yards to dig out. It's a daunting task.
The Sierra snowpack is like a frozen reservoir that slowly melts and provides water for the region. The problem is we've got this warm storm bringing rain that can melt a lot of this snow, and that is what's raising concerns about flooding downstream. Carter Evans, Truckee, California.
So, Krista, the storm is making its way towards the Santa Barbara area now.
Yes, that's right. Currently sitting over North Santa Barbara County and San Luis Obispo County. Take a look at that live storm tracker. Slowly inching its way toward the south coast and Ventura County, but currently really just sitting near the northwest portion of San Luis Obispo County, which is expected to get much of the rain from this system. So we do have the heaviest rain, which is set to fall between tonight and tomorrow night. So here's a look at the future track. By 12:30 a.m. tonight, widespread heavy rain all the way down to the south coast, and overnight we could see moderate to heavy rainfall as well. But by 5 a.m. tomorrow, take a look at Morro Bay, the northwest portion of San Luis Obispo County, really just sitting there, intensifying. We are expecting continuous heavy rainfall for San Luis Obispo County. A lot of activity for the south coast and Ventura County, but the farther south you go, a lot less activity is expected. So the chance of rain does linger into the first half of the day on Saturday, but showers will be very light and scattered in nature. So here's a look at the future track rainfall totals. Some isolated communities, including the Santa Lucia Mountains, could see between 6 to 12 inches of rain. For everywhere else, Santa Barbara County and San Luis Obispo County, between 2 to 4 inches of rain is expected. And farther south you go, Ventura County, a lot less, about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches of rain is projected at this time. So we do have a flood watch that is currently in effect for anywhere shaded in green. This does include all of San Luis Obispo County and Santa Barbara County. Flooding is possible and likely under these conditions due to excessive runoff. A lot of rain within a short period of time, and you may be tired of the rain. We do have an unusually wet season, but take a look at our updated drought monitor today. The entire region basically off that drought monitor. We do have Frazier Park and communities that are further inland that do remain in the dry category of the drought, but this has improved the state of our drought significantly. So the rain is not the only concern at this time. We also have potentially damaging southerly winds set to accompany the rain. Teens, 20s expected later today, overnight into the first half of the day tomorrow, which is why we do have a wind advisory that has been issued. It will be in effect until noon tomorrow for Santa Barbara County and San Luis Obispo County. So here's a look at those temperatures for tomorrow. Tomorrow, rainy and windy for Santa Barbara County and for San Luis Obispo County as well, but temperatures remain generally mild. This is a warm system, so we don't have any cold conditions expected. 60 degrees tomorrow in San Luis Obispo County to accompany all the rain, and breezy conditions expected in Ventura County, not nearly as windy as what we are expecting for the central coast. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast, beginning with Santa Barbara. 60 degrees tomorrow, rain showers all day. Showers are set to taper Saturday morning. On Sunday, we're dry and a few degrees warmer. A quick break before more rain arrives. Rain is set to return to the area late Monday into early Wednesday. Santa Maria 58 degrees tomorrow. Showers expected in the morning on Saturday. We're drying on Sunday, but it is very quick because more rain arrives on Monday. Scattered showers expected all day on next Tuesday. Lompoc 65 degrees by Sunday. When we are set to spring forward, we do have another hour of daylight and temperatures warming up. 66 degrees on Sunday in San Luis Obispo. Rain arrives later in the day on Monday, and we are expecting rain all day on Tuesday and partly cloudy conditions on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be right back.
She might be one of the youngest influencers out there. She doesn't burn the candle at both ends. She sniffs it.
Good, all right.
No.
You don't like that one?
No.
A little girl named Sunday is a 2-year-old Texas toddler who became famous on TikTok for her candle reviews. Candle companies are even sending their products to be reviewed by Sunday. Sunday's vocabulary for her candles reviews include no yuckies, no more that, and no, 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 no. Mom mentioned that Sunday's favorite smell is actually not a candle, but the smell of coffee, which you probably wouldn't expect from a 2-year-old. The influencer now has someone representing her and is branching out into food, for instance, cookies and drinks. I hope she never changes. That's a pure
facial
response.
expressions,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. But hey, real quick, let's take a look at that flood watch that is currently in effect. That atmospheric river approaching the area. Widespread heavy rain expected, especially in San Luis Obispo County. I'll tell you more about it coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right, CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell is next. World News Tonight, next on News Channel 3. As we leave you with a look at Highway 101, we're back at 6.